Inflation continues to run hot, but so does the stock market. So will inflation really pose much of a problem at all for equities? We explore that in this week's Fastest 4 Minutes in Finance. Hello once again, I'm Scott Inman. Well, one of my favorite rock groups when I was a teenager was the Black Crowes. Their most famous song is probably the remake they did of the old Otis Redding song, Hard to Handle. I thought of that song when researching this week's Fastest 4 Minutes in Finance. Consumer prices rose more than expected in October, climbing almost 1% month over month and over 6% since last October. That represents the biggest spike since 1990. Inflation seems hard to handle right now, but the stock market has taken it all in stride. Take a look at this chart from LPL Research. The S&P 500 dropped 0.33% last week. That's when the inflation data was released. Most of the major indices were in the red last week, in fact. But for perspective, look at the one-month numbers. The S&P was up more than 7% in the past month, the Dow Jones up over 5%, and the Nasdaq surging nearly 10%. In fact, all of the major indices are in the green over the past 30 days. And if you look at the year-to-date numbers there, it's clear that hotter than normal inflation has not slowed down the stock market. Of course, if inflation data continues to surprise to the upside, that could change. But will it continue to run hot or begin to cool off in 2022? The jury's certainly still out, but one of the economists we follow and listen to is Brian Wesbury. He's the chief economist for First Trust Advisors, and he frames the inflation forecast like this. He says, think of oil, for example, which ended last year at $48 per barrel and closed on Friday at $81. Could oil prices move up again in 2022? Sure. Will they go up almost 70% like they have so far this year? Probably not. Energy prices are one of the chief components to the Consumer Price Index. And Wesbury goes on to say that prices for new cars and trucks are up 9.8% from a year ago, and used car and truck prices are up 26.4%. This is almost exclusively because of the trouble with semiconductor production in 2021. Wesbury believes production will be up in 2022 and should curb the increase in auto prices. But this does not mean inflation is going away. The Federal Reserve suggests inflation at 2.5% next year, but Wesbury and First Trust are predicting around 4%. Still high, but a clear moderation from the 6% jump reported last week. And it seems the stock market expectations are similar. Inflation will be hotter than normal in 2022, but probably not too hard to handle. Thanks for watching.